Hello everybody. My name is Hieu. Hieu is pronounced like Hugh Jackman, right? But we say the tiger. We say Hieu, and my name it means respectful in Vietnamese language. I was born in Saigon, which is the biggest city in Vietnam, and also the most crowded at the same time. I was born in the city, and I live here for my whole life. So I worked as a tour guide in the city for around 5 years already.
And my name is Spring. It's really easy to pronounce. And I moved here 6 years ago for study and working. So I live here, and right now we work as a team. And I would say he more like city boy. So he know this city pretty well. And I'm from like Dong Nai province. It's around like 2 hours away. It's like a countryside.
Yeah, and we're running tours in Vietnam. Spring and I we did a scooter tour in the beginning, and that's how we met actually. We're a couple and we met 4 years ago. But then we started to doing our own business together, and now we have scooter tour. We have walking tour in Saigon, and we also have the boat tour that take people to the Mekong Delta region in Vietnam as well. Beside that, during this time, we also running online experiences, and we are doing it on two platforms right now. The first one is Airbnb. We do a tour that we're gonna show you right now, and we do a cooking workshop. And the second platform is we are live streaming on the website called heygo.com. I think Bloy gonna help us to send you the link as well. Check it out. We have 7 tours on Heygo, and normally we will live stream each day, every day for the whole week.
Yes.
Now we're gonna start our experience. Before we start the experience, there's a few things that I want you folk to keep in mind. Okay, the first thing is that please ask us a lot of questions because we want to make this experience become very interactive. So if there's any question that pop up in your mind, please feel free to unmute yourself and talk to us. Secondly, you can also type down in the chat box, and we can answer them. We're gonna check in with you that can you all see our screen? So we're gonna share the screen now. And if you can see the screen, can you please give us a thumbs up?
All right. That's
okay.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. The second thing is that English is not our main language. So when we say something, and if you don't understand clearly, please feel free to let us know. And we are very happy to repeat it to you again, okay? And the last thing is that we're gonna explore a communist apartment complex today. And we're gonna talk about the Vietnam-American War from our perspective. So I know that this is very controversial. It's gonna be especially for American people. You may have different opinion, so please stay open-minded. Okay.
Just a little bit is
Yeah,
fine.
just a little bit. It's okay. All right. So now we're gonna start. And this is the drone shot from our city, Saigon. So you see, this is the biggest in the country. We have the population of 16 million people in the city. So there are 11 million people in Saigon, along with 5 million immigrants. And this is the biggest. So it's like 1/6 of the whole country already. In Vietnam, we have 98 million people. So this is the place that everybody try to come here. The youngster, they come here to study, to earn a living, and to start a family here as well. So for the itinerary today, we will spend around 45 minutes exploring the culture of Vietnam. And then we're gonna talk about the history. And then we will keep a break in between and answer all your questions as well. So first, we're gonna talk about the district system. As you see, this is our district of Saigon. It got divided into 24 districts. We put number on most of them, and they are all random together. District 1 of the city is considered to be a touristy area. And this is also the most fancy area in the city as well. So if you ever come to visit us, you will probably stay in District 1 of the city. So you see, it's fancy, it's very nice, but it's not that authentic. So if you ever come to visit us, we would recommend you to come to District 10 and 11.
So 10 and 11, they are known as a student area, and there are a lot of best place for all the street food. So if you are like the food lover, we would recommend you to visit District 10 and 11.
This is the short videos from our neighborhood. So you can see it's always crowded like this for every night. And normally, people, they're gonna set up their street food. They sell everything on the street, basically.
So actually, whenever we feel like lazy with cooking, we just drive the scooter there around like 5 minutes to try all the street food. So we don't have to cook.
Yeah, and actually we are always lazy with cooking. So we come a lot. And on the edges, we have District 8. So District 8 is a special one. They are known as the gangster area of Saigon. So you see, it's a gangster area because in the past, people here, they did things that related to drugs and prostitution. So that was where the name come from.
However, no worries of the gangster, okay? Because they are really friendly with foreigners. So I would say it's totally safe. You travel here.
Yeah. When you come to Vietnam, the only thing that you should take care for is your belongings, okay? We have some people, we call them the ninja. So they may come and then they snatch your phone away. But other than that, we don't have a lot of heavy crime in our country.
So from here, we want to ask that, have you heard about the movie or watched the movie named The Hunger Games before? So if you watch that, you can give us a thumbs up.
Oh, most of you have seen it actually, I see.
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games, I see. You see, the Hunger Game is pretty popular, right? But it's actually got banned in Vietnam. We are not allowed to watch that. Yeah, so the Hunger Game, the movies, along with the books, they are all banned in our country.
Why?
And, so the reason is that it's about a group of youngsters. They try to protest and kill the government, basically. And you see, it's too provoking. And Vietnam, we still have a communist government. So when the idea is too provoking, then our government, they're gonna block it from the people.
Yes, and in Vietnam, whenever the government bans something, and actually everybody try to watch. So here and I already watched The Hunger Games. It was a good movie though, yeah.
It's the best marketing strategy, actually.
I was about to say,
Everybody wants it.
the best way to market anything is to let the government ban it. Then everybody will be onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing. When you come to Vietnam, you will see that because of the communist government, they tend to ban a lot of random things. So Minji, when you come to Vietnam, you see that they ban BBC, okay? No BBC here. Yeah. But on the other hand, CNN is okay.
Yes.
Fox News is okay. And yeah, that was our brief introduction about Saigon. Now, before we go to our second stop, I want to check in with you that do you have any questions related to Vietnam, or you can ask us anything really.
So if you try, you can send us a question on the chat box. So we will check it out.
I see. Oh, thank you for sending the link, Floyd. I think it's true everywhere. As soon as any government bans a thing, yeah, it's become more interesting. Agree, Mark? And I want to ask that, have you folks ever tried the Vietnamese coffee before? Vietnamese coffee.
Oh, Floyd.
Some of you have tried it, yeah. It actually is a very special thing in our country. And for us, it's kind of underrated in a way because a lot of tourists, they skip this part actually. So you see, by looking at this graph, we can see that we are very big. We are the second largest exporter of coffee in the whole world. So we are just right behind the Brazilian. But the thing is that we are not so popular internationally because we grow the Robusta. So you see, the Robusta is super strong. It has almost double the amount of caffeine compared to the normal one, to the Arabica. So our coffee, it tends to be very strong. That's why it's special, because in Vietnam, we always mix the coffee beans with some butter and salt.
Butter and salt.
Yeah. So when you come to Vietnam, you see our coffee, it tastes almost like chocolate.
So that's why whenever we try Starbucks coffee, So they almost taste like water. So sorry, Wilmer. I think you have like some Starbucks, right?
Yeah, Starbucks normally it tastes tastes like water, but we buy one Starbucks in Vietnam, we take like 100 selfie with it, you see, because it's like a status thing. We use it to like show off normally. So Lillian and Andrea asked, what is the most popular social media app in Vietnam? So the biggest one is only Facebook, Lillian and Andrea. However, in the recent years, it switched into TikTok, and Instagram is right behind. In Vietnam, we also have a thing called Zalo. Zalo is kind of like a WhatsApp and Facebook combined together.
Yeah, for Vietnamese people.
Yeah. TikTok, we don't understand them, but normally the kids nowadays, you know, they do a lot of these like dancing and things.
Oh yeah, Viber. So actually, for the long time, we don't use Viber a lot. Maybe like a few years ago, it's really popular.
Yeah, but in terms of app, they don't ban anything, so we can use whatever we like, basically. And Angie said, is there any Vietnamese coffee that you recommend that can be shipped to the UK? I would love to try. Yeah, you can try Trung Nguyên Legend. Let us type it down for you. Trung Nguyên Legend is like they are like the king of coffee in Vietnam, and you can also get it on Amazon as well. Trung Nguyên Legend is the name. It's gonna be originally Robusta, but they also have the Robusta and Arabica mixed together, so it will be not that strong. And most of the coffee shop is like the house of somebody.
So normally they tend to do the business on the ground floor, and they live on the upper floor. And this coffee shop is from 1938, so almost like 83 years already. And actually, like around like 3 months ago, we have the lockdown. So how the owner do it? She would put the table between to keep a 2 meter distance. So for us, we have to lean as long as we can to get the coffee.
And we remove the lockdown. So now we're gonna come inside and we're gonna show you how the coffee works in Vietnam.
And the name of this coffee shop is Chéo Leo, which means very hard to find. Because in the past, this coffee shop was stuck in the alleyway. So that's why the father, he chose Chéo Leo to name it. Very hard to find.
So when you entering a restaurants or the cafe in Vietnam, there are two things that we want you to keep in mind. The first thing is that by looking on the top left, we can see that they open very early in the morning, 5:15 in the morning until around 12, you see. So from 12 until 1 p.m., they're gonna take a break. And that's in the Vietnamese culture thing. In the noontime, we go to sleep. So you shouldn't go out at this time when you come to our country. People gonna close down their business and take a nap for around 1 to 2 hours. And under here, we can see another rules.
So in Vietnam, we have the culture. So whenever we drink coffee, we tend to stay 3 to 4 hours. That's why the owner, she has the rule below. Please do not enjoy just one cup for too long.
Yeah, it's not a thing like normally I notice in the States or something, you bring the laptop or the coffee and then work for the whole day, right? But here in Vietnam, if you go to the local shop, we come and go quickly if it's popular. But say we are flexible. If you go to a not so popular space, then we can stay for a longer time. So we have to be flexible with the space like this. And the women just passed by. We're gonna see her. See, she is the owner of the cafe, and it's the 3 siblings running the coffee shop together.
So they are the second generation, and I guess maybe they are the last generation because they don't have any kid to pass their business. And actually, it's really popular, like nowadays, common for the younger people. We don't want to do what our parents do anymore.
So these kind of traditional business, they are slowly fading away. And normally we only use the machine to make the coffee. But in Vietnam, for this shop in specific, I mean, they choose a very traditional technique. It is called cà phê vợt. So cà phê vợt means stocking cafe. And how it works is that we have the clay over here. So the clay, it comes from China. The Chinese use it to make their traditional medicine. But we are being creative. We use it for the coffee, which is our morning medicine as well. So you see, it takes around 15 to 20 minutes. Inside the clay, we will also have a piece of cloth to filter the coffee.
And one cup of the coffee is cost around 20,000 dong, and the tea is always go for free.
Yeah, 20,000 dong, it would be less than $1. 23,000 dong would be $1. So it's pretty cheap, especially compared to like Starbucks. And we love it. It's strong. Normally we add a bit of condensed milk, or if we can also bring just the black coffee as well. So we have 3 recommendations for you. The first one is cafe fin. Cafe fin is easy. You can find it everywhere in the country. The fin is referred to the brewing technique by the French. And you can see the French drip on top of the glass over here.
And actually, I'm not a coffee drinker, so the second one is my favorite. So we have like the coconut coffee. So how it works is we have the little bit of black coffee on the bottom and a tons of coconut cream on top. So it tastes like milkshake.
Yeah, Cafe Hieu is the name, and it comes from the central of Vietnam. Then the last one is come from Hanoi, from the north. We have Cafe Trứng. Cafe Trứng means the egg coffee. So it sounds strange, but it tastes like a liquid tiramisu actually. So how it works is that we have the egg yolk. We whisk the yolk along with a lot of milk, condensed milk, and then we mix them with the coffee. So you see, we not only drink the egg with the coffee, we also drink the egg with the beer as well. And make sure that you try these 2 drinks when you come to Vietnam: the egg coffee and the egg beer.
Tastes like tiramisu.
Cà phê trứng, yeah, like tiramisu. And the tip is, if you want to find a good coffee, you look for the shop that have a lot of men from the older generation, okay? Because normally the men, they are pretty chill. For the older folks like my dad, he retired. So he choose a very good coffee shop and then he stay for the whole day. But for the younger one like us, we don't care about the flavor anymore. Now we just drink them quickly and then we go to work. So now we're gonna teach you a very practical Vietnamese words. But let me take a look at the chat box to see if there's any question.
Oh, you.
I see. Sake instead. I see. We have the thing very similar to sake actually. Mark, we call it rượu nếp. It make out of sticky rice. Yeah, and it tastes kind of similar but stronger. And if you drink, now this word for you, okay?
So we're gonna teach you how to say cheers in Vietnamese. So for cheers, we say like yo. So yo is like YOLO, you only live one. But we only say yo without the lo. Okay, right now I think Nayan, you you are ready, right? And everyone, we're gonna like practice a little bit. So right now, can we unmute yourself and we say yo as loud as we can.
So yeah, we would love you to unmute yourself. And
Yo! Yo!
Right now, Hieu and I gonna count 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we say again, okay?
Oh, let me do it again.
1, 2, 3.
Yo!
So Terumi, you have like the invisible cup.
Yeah, Terumi, we can see your cup. Drinking is a big thing in Vietnam. We are the second biggest consumer of beer in the whole Asia, actually. So when you come to Vietnam, you will see on the street, normally they have the plastic table and chair, and then people sit down, and then we drink. We drink until we get very drunk. So yeah, it's a habit. And you see, like Spring, she can finish 10 kind of beer without getting drunk or anything.
No.
Thank you, Floyd. So Mike, we speak our main language is well, the English name is Vietnamese, but in Vietnamese we call it Kinh language. You see?
We don't speak English.
And so Vietnam have the majority of us are the Kinh people, and we speak the Kinh language, which is like 20%. of our language. It's got borrowed from Mandarin and Cantonese, but then we have many. It's very unique in its own way as well. Do people drive their scooters after drinking beer? No, they don't anymore actually, because now the government, they are very strict. So they have the machine where they can check the alcohol, you see. And if there's some alcohol in the body when they were driving, then they have to pay 7 million dong. 7 million dong is big, okay? It's $350.
Wow. Wow.
So now, because we have Uber, we have Grab, you see. I mean, we don't have Uber anymore. We have Grab, and we order them.
Yeah.
And then they can drive us to our home. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's safe as well. So yeah, Mike, the Vietnamese language, I would say the unique thing is that we have the pitch-based language, you see. So whenever we speak, it comes from our mouth, it's very high. But when for English, it's from the throat. So it's like the opposite, actually. And that's the special thing. And that's the struggling, because when we learn English, we tend to have the habit to speak from the mouth instead of the throat, you see. So for us, like for tour guide like us, we have to try to bring it down in a way. So Mike also said, do children, oh, I have to check out with the chat box again. Let's see, do Vietnamese children learn English and French also? Yes, we do learn English and French.
So actually, in school, we have to learn English. It's compulsory for 12 years. But the thing is, we cannot speak any English in school.
Normally, the English class, Mike, is our napping time. So we go to sleep, actually. It's very boring. The school, they teach us about grammar, and it's not so practical in a way. So how we do it is like Spring and I, we learn it from YouTube. Yeah, it fits very well for us because we are very introverted, you know, so we normally just stay home, and then we watch a lot of show on YouTube. We watch a lot of Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon as well. And there's a guy that we love, his name is Graham Norton. Yeah, so when we watch the talk show, it's very practical, you see. We hear them speak to each other, and then we can try to imitate them in a way.
Yes, we want to learn about the joke as well, but it's difficult.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. So thank you for asking the question, by the way. Your question makes us very happy, actually, because we want to make this become very interactive. So now we're gonna move to the history part, and we're gonna talk about the Vietnam-American War, which is the biggest war in our history, in our modern history. So we start from our house, and we live in hẻm. So the word hẻm, it means the alleyways. And normally we recommend people to do two things. The first one is you should get into the alleyways, because you see all the best street food and drink is inside the tiny street. And for the second thing, you have to hop on the scooters and drive around the city or the country.
I think that maybe the second one is a little bit adventure. So you can book us, we can drive you around the city.
And the best time is at 4 p.m., from 4 p.m. In the southern region, there are only two seasons, right? We have the hot season now, and then we have the hotter season coming. So yeah, you can explore the local places. And now we have a fun question for you.
So can you guess how many scooters do we have in Saigon with 16 million people?
So please type it down, and Spring and I, we have a gift for you. If you guess it correctly, then we will give you the free coffee tour when you come to Vietnam. Yeah, we will make you try 3 types of different coffee when you come here. So let's see.
Okay.
20 million, JD, 10 million. Oh, JD and Bloy, I'm gonna skip you guys, okay? Because you joined our tour before, I think.
Yeah, but somehow I forgot.
You forgot?
I see. Student.
18, 11.
Same here.
All right. We have different answer, actually.
So maybe we choose like the closer one.
Oh, 15, yeah. Right. So let's see how it goes, okay? We have the population of 16 million people, right? And with 16 million people in the city in Saigon, we have 10 million scooters.
Yes.
Yeah. So bingo, JD.
Nayan, you have been here a few times with us, so you still forget the number, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh my, it's really specific.
10 million scooter. We are almost on top of the world actually. We are just right behind China and India, you see. We are the third biggest. And here we use the bike for the practicality with this traffic. This is Hanoi, our capital actually. But in Saigon, in our city, it's the same thing. The traffic is very intense everywhere. So with a scooter, it's easy. You can be flexible to drive around. And one thing is our government, they also put a lot of tax on the car. So the tax it goes with at least 200%.
So for the traffic, we call it organized chaos. And actually, for one scooter, we can have whole families, like 4-5 people.
Yeah, so we don't really need a car anyway. The scooter more convenient. And when you come here, example Lillian and Andrea, Spring, we can drive you too on one scooter. It's okay that way. And now we're entering the communist apartment complex. So this is an average apartment complex that most people in Saigon, we live here nowadays. So it's very basic. We have around 3 to 5 floors and the whole family, the whole community, we live together in these areas. So the name of the place is Nguyễn Thiện Thuật. Nguyễn Thiện Thuật is one of our heroes in the history. And now we're gonna go and explore this area. So you see, like we mentioned, we have around 3 to 5 floors for apartment complex in Vietnam. And can you guess if we give the apartment for rent, then which one would be the most expensive? From the bottom to the top, which one would be the most expensive? So please type down your thought on the chat box as well. And you can also unmute yourself and speak to us.
The top one with a good
top
view.
one because it's a penthouse, right, Minzy? With a good view. Maybe the top less pollution. Yeah, that's legit. Less
JD
pollution.
ground floor.
The ground one. Dayan,
But don't spoil, okay? The ground floor.
You know the answer. We just pretend that you forget, JD. Middle one. Oh, okay. So I can see we have the mix. Most of you go with the top one and the ground floor. I see. Angie said the top is more expensive, maybe as the views, and also you are away from the noise from the bottom. Yeah, it's true. We have the view and we are away from the noise as well. But you see, on the top floor, if we give it for rent, it's gonna be around 5 million dong per month. So 5 million dong is around $250. But in the bottom, it goes up to 10 million dong per month. So 10 million dong is double the price. You see, so bingo for the one who go with the bottom. The higher it goes, the cheaper it is.
Yes.
The reason is that
we always do the business on the ground floor. We can make the money out of it. So the ground floor always more expensive.
And we have the bike over here. So you see, for example, this is the street, right? It belongs to everybody. But if we park here, we have to pay to the one in the bottom. If we don't pay, then one mirror, it got taken away. So you see, we are pretty gangster that way. People on the bottom, they assume that the space in front, it belongs to them, and then they make money. So Minji, actually a lot of our guests, they said that on top is the penthouse. So they have the view and it's less noisy, you know. But I mean, here we have the view as well. But our view is only electric wire. So it's not so valuable anyway.
Yeah, like black noodle.
And normally the neighbor, they sing karaoke all the time. So we cannot get away from the noise. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also on the top, we have to walk up and down all the stairs.
Yes.
So normally people don't prefer it.
And recently on Netflix, there is the TV show named Vietnam Street Food. So they came here for their documentary. So make sure you check it out.
I know her. I watched that one.
Oh, you watched it already?
Yeah.
I see. The second one is the fun one. It's Saigon in the Rain. So it's like a romantic movie, but they also come here as well to this apartment complex, and then they film the whole thing. So we have the central way over here between the stairs, and we use it for the scooters. So we walk it up, and then we keep it inside our flat.
So if we don't want to pay on the ground floor, we can drive the scooter and we park it in our house. And the size here is around like 25 up to 75 meters square. It's around like 300 to 900 square feet.
Normally, people live together. So the culture is that whenever we get married, the wife, she will move to the husband family, and then the whole family live together, you see? So in our case, it's the same thing. We are together for more than 4 years. And for the first year, Spring, she would move to my family and live with my parents. So it's like 8 people live together. So it's very fun. We never get boring. There's always some people to talk to.
Never
But
boring.
at the same time, there are a lot of drama. You see, normally the drama in Vietnam is about the mother-in-law and the daughter. Like when I talk to my family, for the first few months, it's like drama every day. The drama is between Spring and my mom during the cooking process.
Yeah.
But now it's okay. Now we know how to play the games. So
Yeah, it was scary at that time.
so now we're gonna tell you the history. But you see, this is the special place. This is considered to be the oldest complex. And we always take our guests here in our offline tour. We take photos for them and explain to them about the history part. We were divided, Vietnam. The northern part of Vietnam follow a communist government. The southern government follow the the southern part follow a republican government. So the American, we learn in school that they are worried, they are afraid that communism may spread to the whole Asia. So that's why they came in. And then we have the war with them. So you see, this is a very big war. It took 4 million people away from the country. But at the same time, we have the festival. We call it Tết. So Tết means the Lunar New Year. And it's very special in the way that the two governments, even though we were fighting at that time, but they allow all the soldiers to stop fighting and celebrate. So you see, imagine, we had a civil war, right? And whenever the Lunar New Year comes, the soldiers, they came back to their family for the celebration to have some fun, and then they rejoin the war again. It's kind of similar to Christmas. We cook the big feast, and then we eat and have fun together until the year of 1968. So now we're gonna show you this one. Lệnh ngưng bắn. The word ngưng bắn, it means ceasefire, and the word lệnh, it means order. So ceasefire order, 7 days break during the Lunar New Year. But then at the year of 1968, we have the Tet Offensive. So in our history, we learned that this is the most important event in the Vietnam-American War. What happened is that, like usual, the two governments, they announced that everybody could stop fighting for the celebration. But then the communists, they play trick, you see. They did the opposite. They mentioned that they stopped fighting, but they brought the whole army to Saigon. So imagine, it was a big surprise. Every family in the south, they were just celebrating. And then at night, the communists, they came in, they bombed everything. So it was a big shock. And it was also, it's very depressing for the southern people. They lost their land, a lot of them passed away, and they also lost the motivation to fight. You see, Saigon is the capital of the south, and even the capital is not safe from the communists. So the people from the southern region, they begin to worry. But then the American, they are much stronger. So they are the one who took the whole area back, and then they constructed the whole new apartment complex for the southern people who survived. So it was built in the same year, in 1968. And when it was done, we have 11 apartment blocks, along with 2,400 apartments for the southern people. So all the southern people who survived, they would move here and then live here together. But now we're gonna have a tricky question for you, okay? We're gonna ask you that,
Can you guess why do we call this a communist apartment complex if it were built for the southern people?
Yeah. Why is this one a communist complex then?
It's tricky.
So let me check with the question. Look said, can you sing
2 phút hơn. Oh, you know that song.
2 phút hơn?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like on TikTok. Yeah, we have a lot of that on TikTok actually. It was communist member who lived there. Communist member who lived there. I see what you mean, Minzy. Lloyd said it was built by the American soldiers because it's a commune. I agree with Mark. Maybe it's a community. I see. Oh, you have different idea. You see, you mean that it's a community, but the American, they built it for the southern people. But why do we call this area a communist apartment complex? So Yuri said it's isolate the communists and control them. And Joe said it's a commemoration of what happened with the communists. Oh, because they destroyed them, so that's where the name come from. I see. So let us tell you the reason, okay? Well, first of all, let me see. Lillian and Andre, without the Tet Offensive, they would not have. But without the Tet Offensive, have built, I see. All because the Communist City Council took it over. You are very close, actually, Mike. You are very, very close. Yeah. And you see, the communists, they destroy everything. The American, they built it for the southern people, okay? But then in 1975, when the country got united, our communist government, they took everything away and then they give it to the communist veterans. So actually, the people, the soldier that bombed this area, they moved here to live. And that was where the name come from. And that's the irony, you see. 30th of April, the special day. Saigon fall away. Saigon got torn apart by the communists. So when our country became one, the government, they took a lot of things from the southern people and then they distributed to the veterans from the north. So they got it for free and they live here until now today. That's why the name of our tour is Vietnam, a bittersweet ending. Because the good thing is that we are at peace right now. We don't have to fight. But for the southern people, they are very frustrated. They fled the country, 2 million of them.
Yeah, so we call them the boat people. So they took the boat to Thailand and Malaysia. And from there, they make their way to US, Europe, or Canada.
But only 400,000 of them make it to the foreign countries. And that's the reason why now today, even though the war is over, but you see, people, they tend to hold this hatred to each other, especially with the older generation. Like our mom, she doesn't want to travel to the north. She doesn't want to eat their food. And she told me to never date anybody from the north. So my partner could be anybody, but not the one in the north.
Luckily, I'm from the south. It's okay for her.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the history part. And now before we move to the next stop, we want to mention that do you have any questions so far? And let's see. Yeah, thank you, Minji.
So my question is, for example, for my family in China, I grew up in China, they would live in different parts of the country. And I also got relatives who live in Taiwan. What happened with this tension between South and North? What happened with the family who have members live in both areas? What do they do?
I can tell you from personal experience that they still don't like each other. Actually, Minzy, my dad, he come from the north actually. So
Did your mom know?
They don't like each other. My parents, they don't like each other. I mean, drama. We're not gonna talk about it, but yeah. My mom's making fun about my dad all the time. You know, all guy you can never trust them, something like that. But my dad, he's a veteran. You see, he's a communist soldier, so he had his kind of mindset and his kind of thinking, right? And they all disagree, and yeah, it's like this. But I mean, they got married, and we are family, so it all worked in the end, I think.
Yes.
And for the younger generation, this thing is fading away, Minji. So now, say like if we have partner from the north and the south, we don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
It doesn't make any difference. We just love to maybe compare to each other. You see, to see which one is better economically, and it's a healthy competition. So we can grow together. Minji, do you have any more question for us?
I think Mike and Lillian have questions in the chat box.
I
Okay.
see. Let me see. What is the attitude of modern Southern Vietnamese towards the state? For the Vietnamese, we don't have any. We have a positive attitude, I would say, because after 1975, the government, they really try their best to make us forget about the war. Actually, so you see, we learn in the wartime that it's very biased. Okay, we learn that the American is a bad guy and we are the good guy. But at the same time, we also learn that we have to forget about this because it have nothing to do with what happened nowadays anymore. So if you're from American, when you travel to Vietnam, you will see that people are very friendly and welcoming normally. I hope I answered your question, Mike. And it's not really Southern Vietnamese, it's the whole country. We are very much similar nowadays, especially with the younger generation. How could we quickly differentiate the Vietnamese from South versus the one from the North? So it's kind of tricky, but the North people, they tend to have a paler skin, you see, because it's colder up there. In the South, it's very tropical, so we have the darker skin. And the sad thing is that, like Spring mentioned, right, the Northern people, they are more beautiful because we have beauty standard, and everyone want to have like this pale skin, you know. So in Vietnam, when you come here, you will see that when we go on the street, we look like ninja.
We cover.
Yeah, everybody cover the face and everything for the skin. But anyhow, they are paler and they are a bit taller as well, actually. Yeah, for the corner region, the people somehow they got taller compared to the southern area. And but I would say still it's very hard to tell. I cannot tell actually really the difference between north, central, or southern part of Vietnam. How are the relation with Cambodia following that war? Not so good, but it's very bad.
We don't
Vietnam
like
and Cambodia, we don't like each other. Yeah. I mean, for us, for the average citizen, it's okay. But if you look at politics and if you go on the internet, you will see that there's a lot of memes where we making fun of them and they making fun of us. Yeah, it's tricky. We are neighbors, so we always have the beef between each other, actually. Mark said, in our part of the world, getting a tan skin, I think suntan is really important. Yeah, like Kim Kardashian, right, Mark? She's very popular. Yeah.
So that was it.
So now we're gonna show you a coffee shop, okay? It's very quickly. It just takes around like 3 to 5 minutes. But this is a very important coffee shop because it is the place that the communist soldiers, they used to hide during the wartime. And so please stay with us for the next 5 minutes. So there's a few things that we want to show you before as well. First, we have the ladies over here. You see, that's how we do business in Vietnam. The lady on the top floor, she have the rope. So when we want to buy something, we would roll it down and then we would roll it up. It's very convenient that way.
So we are really lazy. We exercise. So I love this way.
If you come to Vietnam and want to find a peaceful and quiet place, you go to our gym, okay? Our gym is always empty. Nobody wants to go there.
And the second one, we have like the dry noodle and the bread. So this food we feed for rooster, for the chicken.
Yeah. There are 3 things that you shouldn't take a photo. Rooster fight is the first one. It's very sad, but you see, it's illegal. People make them fight and they bet money on it. The second thing is, if you see the men watching soccer, you shouldn't take a photo. You see, soccer is our national sport in Vietnam. So we are very passionate with soccer, football in our country. But the thing is that we are not so good at it. So we tend to watch a lot of European team play. and then we bet a lot of money on them. So when you see them, you shouldn't take a photo. And the last thing is that it's not that strict anymore. But if you see any communist propaganda, please don't take a photo.
Yes.
It's normally it's a red one with the yellow hammer and the sickle. And if you see our leader Ho Chi Minh over here, please don't take a photo of him as well. Yeah, it's okay nowadays. But if you go to like a local places, make sure that you have to be aware of this. This is our coffee shop. So Đỗ Phủ is the name. Đỗ Phủ is in the house of Mr. Đỗ. And the special thing is that in this house, they build a whole bunker system for the communist soldiers to hide. And it's right underground actually.
So right now I'm going to show you the secret doorway to live under the bunker. You see, it's hidden under the treetop.
So you see, imagine in the daytime, the American soldiers, they gonna have their coffee, but they didn't know that the enemy was hiding underground, and they are always ready to attack. So that's the thing, right? It's a guerrilla warfare. So the owner, he gave the excuse that he spent 7 months to build a toilet, but then he built a bunker instead. It's 2 meter wide, 2.5 meter of the depth. And it's used to store around like 2 tons of the weapon in this bunker in the world. 2 tons of weapon come from the Soviet Union. And not only that, we also have the secret stair between the walls for the soldier to climb on top as well. And now we're gonna demonstrate. So we're gonna go to our second floor. And we're gonna introduce you to the Viet Cong soldier. The Viet Cong, they are the special people. They are the people that was born in the southern region, but then they work for the northern government instead. And this is Mr. Đỗ Miễn, he's the owner. Yeah. So you see, he was born in the south, but by the propaganda from the communists, he slowly begin to believe in the communist philosophy and then working for them eventually. This is the toilet area. We have the sink. So normally the sink we use to store all the soaps, but then when Spring opened the cabinet, you can see that I can climb on top. So suppose to be this is the wartime, so Hieu, he can run away. Yeah, we believe that this is the reason why we win in our history. Everybody could fight. They blend in, and whenever the war event come, they fight. So you see, the mindset is that we don't have to win the American. We just try not to lose. And by patience, slowly, they will go away. It's like this. And from the second floor, he can climb on top. So that was it. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up the tour in the shop right here. And now this is more of the Q&A and chatting time. So if you have any question that you're wondering about Vietnam, and you feel that we haven't covered in this tour, please feel free to let us know. And yeah, we will just stay here for you. Yeah. We hope that it's not too late, Minji and Floyd. So Minji, you know that there's somebody woke up at 5 today to join our tour.
Oh, yeah. I was emailing with Albert. I don't know Albert is still here or not, if you can hear me. So Albert lives in California, US, and it's very early time for him. I just want to thank him for getting up so early for this.
Thank you.
I hope that he doesn't fall asleep.
It's not so good, Floyd. So you see, if you so let me tell you this. We have the word for we have this word, okay? We call it Tây, T-A-Y.
Tây.
Tây. So the word Tây, it means the white people, okay? It means the white people. And if you are the Tây, when you come to Vietnam, you may see that some Vietnamese people from the older generation, they may not be so friendly towards you, okay? Because you see, we have the 100 years, we suffer from the French. And then we have the very big and intense war with the American. So for us, the word Tây, for the older generation, for the veteran, it tends to have a negative meaning. So they tend to be very cautious in a way. But then like we mentioned, for the younger generation, we don't mind. And for the younger folk, we are very friendly on the other hand. But it's very understandable in a way, I think. So it's for you to keep in mind, Gary, Wimmer, let's see, Mark, Lillian, Mike, and a lot of you.
Okay.
So Mai asks, what distinguishes a Vietnamese person? Is it language, food, culture, history, or all of this? Yeah. So Vietnam is considered to belong to the Eastern Asia part. So actually we look very similar to our Chinese neighbor, Korean and Japanese. But then when you are talking about language, it's totally different.
Yes.
Vietnamese, like I mentioned, it has a pitch-based language. So we speak very high. It's super high actually. It's kind of similar to Thai in a way. And in terms of food, it is very special because it's similar to Chinese again, but then we got colonized by the French. So it's like the fusion between European and Asian at the same time. And then we have the Khmer people. They are the very big group of ethnic people in Vietnam, and they come from South India originally. So you will see food like we have the crepe. It looks like masala dosa. We have different kind of curry. Yeah. So in terms of food, I would say Vietnamese food is the best in the world. But we are biased, because we are Vietnamese. So and let's see.
Lillian and Andrea had a question about decolonization war against French. So
Yes.
was the decolonization war against France or over Vietnam or mainly in the north?
First of all, it started from the northern part of Vietnam. The French, they still stay in the southern region, but then eventually they left the country in 1954. It's happened naturally, actually, Lillian and Andra, the decolonization. But if you come to Vietnam, you will see it's still there in a way. You see, like we mentioned that we have this fancy about Europe in a way. We see Europe as like the heaven on earth, right? People want to go to country like French or England to work and to live there forever. And in terms of culture, you see a lot of food. In terms of food, the three biggest one, the phở, the noodle soup, the bánh mì, and the coffee, it's all come from the French. And in terms of religion, we have Catholic. Catholic is the second biggest religion in Vietnam. And the thing is that they are expanding more and more. But for the Buddhists, it's actually shrinking. You see, because for the Buddhism culture, people, we don't have the desire to spread them. But for the Catholic community, they just kept getting bigger and bigger. So that's in the French as well. I hope I answered your question, Lilia and Andre. Are you happy with our answer? I say thank you.
So Nadia, so before the 1975, we used like the old name Saigon. And after the country united into one, we changed it into like Ho Chi Minh City. But actually for the local people, we don't call like Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah.
Yeah, we say Saigon all the time. Saigon is
Saigon mean in
Saigon, it means a cotton jungle. You see, because this park, before we plant a lot of cotton tree. So that was where the name come from. And Ho Chi Minh is our leader. Ho Chi Minh combined, it means the bringer of light, the light bringer. That's the meaning of his name. But yeah, you can say whatever you want. We say Saigon, but some people also call Ho Chi Minh. And officially, when we write out on the paper, we say Ho Chi Minh. So Albert said, I guess that makes sense. The Cambodian and Vietnamese immigrants who settle in so-called, so in different areas, I see.
I think it means South California.
South California, I see.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know in the state, but yeah, in Vietnam, we don't get along very well. Especially when we play soccer, you can really see it. So Khmer are dominant ethnic group in Cambodia as well. Yeah, actually they are the reason why we don't like each other. Have you heard about the Khmer Rouge? Khmer Rouge, or the Red Khmer, is a very brutal empire. And after the American War, actually we have the war with them, and it's a very bloody one actually. So the hatred is still there until now today. Scotland is better than England. Okay. You're probably Scottish, Mark. Yeah, I mean you have the Loch Ness monster, and then you have mince and tatties. So
mince and tatty. We love
Haggis. Haggis and tatties.
Oh, haggis as well. Yeah. So, so Lillian and Andrea, how is the relationship with China? Okay.
Oh yeah. So
Ah.
China is our best friend.
But you see, normally we said that China is our best friend, but we don't like them. So that's
Sorry.
our best friend is, you see, they are big, right? China is very big. I don't know if you're from the West, you don't notice, but in Vietnam, we are very admire them. They are huge. Their economy, they grow in a very, very rapid space, actually. So we're happy to be best friend with them, so we can grow as well. But sometimes, you see, we always have this beef to each other. And also the Chinese, they colonized Vietnam for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So for some of the older generation, it's very hard to forget. Yeah, but for the youngsters, again, it's okay. I would say, you see, now with the internet, we kind of have like the same mindset in a way. Especially when we do tour, if we meet any Chinese guests, they are very similar to us. Actually, we eat almost the same food. We have the same mindset, very straightforward, like making money and focus on this kind of financial kind of thing. Yeah.
And this Vietnamese movie you would recommend?
Yeah, I can recommend you some. So the first one would be, I'm not sure if you can find them, but the Trăng Máu is like the best one.
And we're not sure that what kind of movie do you like?
Yeah, for Spring and I, you see, normally we watch like thriller movie. So it's kind of very violent, actually. So we watch a lot of Quentin Tarantino and a lot of horror movie. So it may not be your taste, but you can check it out. And if you want to learn about the culture in Vietnam, then we have the Street Food Asia, the documentary. And you can check out, there's a few person that we like. Anthony Bourdain is one of them. I hope I can tie his name right. Anthony Bourdain, he's a chef, but he also traveled to the country and he do a lot of like food review show, and he's very authentic actually. He really know what he doing, and that's why we love him.
The Lover French movie, haven't it?
Yeah, The Lover. It's you see, it's not for everybody, but yeah, we have seen it. I mean, I have seen it. Not sure with Spring.
I need to call him. What meal would be the best to try? Oh yeah.
We will send you our ebook right now. Yeah. So Bloy, have I sent you the link of our ebook, by the way?
Not yet. Do you
okay.
have the link on hand? It's a 35-page ebook that contains the information and the recipe too. So
check out our ebook. We have all of our food recommendation, our best friend, and then also the thing for the foreigners as well. But for me, if you ask me this mark, it's gonna be cơm tấm. Cơm tấm. I have it in the ebook as well, and it's a broken rice dish with like meat, pork skin, meatloaf, egg cake, and yeah, and fish sauce. So let me send it to you.
This is fantastic and so authentic.
Thank you.
You did a brilliant job being really informative and so honest. Thank you,
Minji. Thank you for giving us a chance to show you all around our country. And yeah, if you ever come to Vietnam one day, to our city, then we can drive you around on the scooter, and we can try all the street food together.
So Bloy, I just send you like on Instagram. Maybe you can.
Yeah, please help us with this, Bloy. I send you the link on Instagram.
So yeah, it's such an interesting insights into not only what we can do when we travel there, but also the hidden spot and how people see history from different perspectives. It's fascinating. I actually, when I was living in Hong Kong, I got Vietnamese French friends. I never understood why there's such a Vietnamese community in France, but with a little bit of knowledge about history, I can understand their background. And so Chloe just shared, is that the ebook you wrote about?
Yep,
that's
right. That's the ebook.
Oh, you can click on them actually. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can click on them and it takes you to
Google Drive, to our Google Drive, and then you can download them.
I see. I will also touch base with you privately so we can put your profile and maybe your ebook on our exploreculture.net website so any visitors in the future can benefit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Gary, you can rent the scooter here. Yeah, motorcycle as well.
Oh yeah, you can rent the motorcycles. Yes.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's so cool, Gary and Wilma.
Maybe you try us.
Yeah, you have to drive. We don't know how to drive the motorcycle.
You drive us.
Yeah, we only know how to drive a scooter.
So Gary and Wilbur, you're gonna add 2 more motorcycles on top of the 10 million motorcycles in their city. So thank you so much, Spring and Hieu. This is really, it really changed my, not only educated me, it also changed my views on history and certain things. Thank you for being so generous, offering your tour. And I want to encourage all of us to try more of their live streaming events. It's available in the email I sent to everybody of the event.
I really appreciate it.
I am also going to introduce the session next week. It's going to be a session about love for Sahara Desert by a lady, Canadian lady called Juanita. 14 years ago, she did a trekking tour in South Tunisia in the Sahara Desert. That was a life-altering experience for her. Before that, she was a social worker and a belly dance instructor in Vancouver, Canada. So what she did was she answered to her true calling. She sold her house, said bye to her family and friends in Canada, and moved to a very small village to live with nomad Arab people in Tunisia, South Tunisia. So it's been 14 years so far. She worked with local community and local nomads to develop a tourist product called Sarah Sahara. I just want to read for you the reasons why she's doing this. She said, I started Sarah Sahara for 3 reasons. First, of course, my love of the endless and the vast Sahara and the unique landscape and the culture of South Tunisia. Secondly, it is to provide some much needed work for my local friends who so graciously share their hearts with our guests. And finally, it brings me joy to share with others what I have discovered here. So if you have time next week, come to join another culture story session, Loves for Sahara. So everybody, thank you very much, Ploy, for introducing Spring and Hieu. Spring and Hieu, thank you for just being honest and fantastic. It's lovely to connect with you. And everybody, see you next week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you a lot.
We see you very soon. Let's keep in touch.
Thank you.
Nice day. Thank you.
Bye bye for now.